Cool. Sorry, guys. So welcome everyone. Great to jump on another AMA. It's been a while since the last one, so we're excited to give you guys some updates on what's going on. I did see some of the questions. There's some awesome questions in there, so yeah, excited to jump in. As you know, everyone's been very busy getting over the line for mainnet, which is very, very close. So yeah, we looking forward to answering some questions, especially the ones that came through, and then any others that you guys might have today.
Cool. All right. So I'll kick it off based on the questions that I've received, as well as a few others who are tagged to some questions. We did segregate it a little bit to the topic at hand. The reason why is because we didn't want to jump back and forth when some topics were basically around the same thing. And I guess since everybody's really interested about mainnet, we will kick it off with the mainnet questions. And the first question that we have: is there an update or expected date for the mainnet launch?
The answer is very soon. They're literally putting the finishing touches on it now and the last pieces of testing. I think I mentioned in some of the channels that we're looking to get it launched before the end of the month, and that's still looking very doable. So yeah, keep an eye out for official announcements, but it's going to be very, very soon.
All right. On Vibecoding lists, we can find a credit system template for Replit that already works in real mode on Avalanche or Avax. Could you explain why you choose to build your own network rather than using Avalanche, given that it's already fast and inexpensive? Was your decision driven by the need to reduce gas cost even more, or were there other factors involved?
There's a number of factors. We're building the creator network, right? So we want to build a blockchain that's dedicated to creators. And we're really focused on sort of addressing those pain points that AI-assisted creators face in their go-to-market. So things like distribution, monetization, getting user feedback. And we think that the best way to do that is with our own network. We are an AVAX subnet, so the Orange network will be equally as fast as Avalanche, and potentially more inexpensive. As we've announced, there's going to be zero gas for the first 12 months, and of course, all that juice will also be burnt. And that's the type of thing that we can only do with our own network, right? So it gives us a bit more flexibility to support creators. And we also touched on it a little bit in a recent blog. If you want a bit more detail, check out the blog Layer 1, the Layer 1 Creators Need, where we spoke about that we feel that Orange sits at the intersection of three really important mega trends. So you've got AI tools, the growing creator economies, and the Web3 gaming and metaverse space. And so we believe we'll be the only blockchain that ties all these together into a single tokenized economy. So we couldn't just do that on somebody else's chain. We can only do it on our own blockchain. And that's the reason why we went Layer 1.
Gotcha. Up next, what are the immediate impacts that mainnet will have once it's online?
The immediate impact, the main one is that it'll provide a pathway to onboard the millions of users that we've seen drive the millions and millions. I think it was 37 million transactions on the testnet. So by now moving to mainnet, we can start to create the accounts and onboard those users.
Alrighty, and last one for mainnet. For those who want to be validators, what does it mean to have blockchain infrastructure expertise? What is expected from potential validators in terms of blockchain knowledge, and how soon will validator nodes be available post mainnet?
So as we've announced, we're going to be launching with POA, and that will be managed by Avax Cloud. And that's really because of the volumes that we're talking about. We want to make sure that the network's robust, and Avax Cloud has all of the knowledge and the expertise to be able to do that under a POA setup. The intention is to move to POS, and as we get closer, we'll advise on what's needed. With plenty of notice for those that want to get involved and to run validators. In regards specifically to the blockchain infrastructure expertise, which I think is from the docs, that's really just what we mean by that is people who understand how to maintain uptime, manage nodes, handle security. It's all really important infra stuff. So we want people that have got experience and can do that effectively. But we'll release all the full details once we get closer to that POS stage.
Gotcha. Up next is games. When will the Orange tournaments return to the website?
This has been a good one. So we actually soft launched yesterday again with Animal Merge and a brand new flow. The reason why it was off for a while was there was some issues with the flow. Crypto payments, particularly on mobile, and working with different apps and MetaMask and things like that, can sometimes lead to some issues with the flow. It's not the smoothest process. So we've worked with the partner GoAma to try and build in a process that's a little more robust and shouldn't have as many issues as we had previously. That work's been done now, and so we launched yesterday. It's more of a soft launch, so we'll be checking stability over a little bit of a period, make sure everything's working as it should be, and then we'll be relaunching with the creator tournaments next week. So that will be as per the creator model, where creators can input the SDK, the GoAma SDK, publish their game to the platform, and then we'll run tournaments, and that will open up monetization for those game creators. We're also working with GoAma on some other exciting things that we're going to add in to games, and also exploring how we can use it more as an acquisition channel as well. So there's a lot more stuff happening on the Orange Game side, and we'll share more once it's ready to share with you guys.
Cool. Since we're already on the creator topic, we'll just move on with the creators. We have a question. While there are devs that create great things with vibe coding and AI coding, there are many great devs who are not used to AI at all. Do you have any plans to persuade devs who are AI skittish, or will you only prioritize devs who are all in on AI?
So, as the creator network, we're open to all creators. We are built specifically to address some of the pain points that vibe coders and AI first creators face around. They can build really cool stuff really fast, but how do you get that initial feedback to iterate and make your product better? How do you publish it, and essentially how do you monetize and start making money? Right. So they're the things that Orange is built to solve. But those are also things that can support any creator. So although we believe that AI makes these things faster and it's going to be the future of creation and development, I mean, if you look at some data out there, there's suggestions that more than 90% of devs are using AI tools. It's open to anyone that finds the tools valuable and is also looking to solve those problems. So I guess as an example, what we're seeing is a lot of devs are using AI for initial, to build things quickly, like MVPs, and then to iterate and experiment, because AI just makes that so fast. But in order to do that, right, you need the feedback. You need people using the app and giving you feedback and telling you what's working and what's not working. And that's something that we think partners like Vibecoding List is solving by creating those feedback loops. And that can be possible to anyone. You don't need to be an AI dev to be, to need feedback and be able to iterate based on feedback. But of course, using the AI tools just makes it much faster. But no, we're not limited to people that are building in AI. Obviously, the Vibe Jam was, because that was a specific hackathon for AI first development. But people can come in. We've had games that aren't completely vibe coded. We're working with other game studios who are proper game studios and not vibe coded, who want to get and publish their games onto Orange Games. So there's no limit. It's any creators who find value in the tools.
Cool. The next question that we have is Barclays analysis found that there were a significant traffic decline for vibe coding sites. Pundits state that this is due to devs hitting a wall when code gets messy and having a high churn rate due to experimentation. This seems to be an issue that cannot be fixed easily, as it is dependent on the LLM itself and not Orange Web3 in general. Do you believe this is a major problem? And if so, has Orange Web3 thought of any ways to mitigate or circumvent the impact as much as possible? Example, partnerships that force different outputs, ease of access, etc.
Long question. So yes, as I said, we believe that AI based development is the future. These tools are all relatively new, so we think that they'll continue to improve, and they'll continue to fix some of the issues that on their side that developers are struggling with, and those tools will continue. And we fully believe that AI-based development is the future and the way things are going to go. As I mentioned, the data is suggesting that over 90% of devs are now using AI in some capacity to assist their coding. But I think also it's super important to understand that part of the reasons why Orange exists is because of the limitation on the IDEs. So some of the issues that the IDEs face are the problems that Orange is looking to solve. Because you can go and create an awesome product, an awesome MVP, but if it's sitting on Lovable and you've got no go to market, well then it's kind of useless, right? So what we're looking to do is to fill the gap from easy and quick AI based development, and to fill that gap of allowing those tools to be those products to be taken and distributed, and to provide monetization paths and feedback loops and those other things I mentioned. So I think a lot of the pain points that are stopping people from continuing and on building their products are the pain points that we're looking to solve.
Gotcha. Moving on, we have some Go3 questions, and we are kicking it off with, now that Go3 tokens have been distributed, are there no more use for founders' keys? Will everything be handled via Go3, from airdrops to waitlist priority? This is the method that I prefer as it becomes simpler.
Yeah, so look, founder key holders are still our OGs. We really value, they were there right at the start and believed in the project early. So they'll continue to be prioritized with things like, exclusive access, early information, incentives and things like that. So we're not in any way like forgetting about founder key holders. They'll continue to be prioritized. But also, Go3 measures the engagement across the entire ecosystem, right? So it also allows non-founder key holders to show their engagement and to be rewarded for that. So it kind of ties users and creators together on the Go3 side. So, they're both super important, but they have different purposes. So no, founder keys will still be an important and still be supported. But of course, Go3 is going to become more and more important, particularly as we start to onboard and roll Go3 out across multiple partners. We think that's a super important part of the ecosystem.
Got it. When is the Go3 token airdrop scheduled? Any expected or confirmed dates would be appreciated.
I can't give any dates yet. We don't have a date yet, but basically the flow is that we want to do mainnet first. Obviously, that's the priority right now. There is in plan to develop an airdrop claim mechanism that will be introduced for Go3. So that will come after mainnet, and then we'll get that airdrop claim mechanism out and share those dates once we have visibility on that.
Gotcha. All right, we are moving on to general project questions. Has there been growth internally? Have you hired more people? Any other C-suites or high-level employees that can be mentioned other than Peel? Do you plan on expanding to accommodate the expected influx of users?
Yeah, so I mean the team has expanded, but it's particularly through partnerships. So some examples is obviously with Mainnet, SRG is doing a huge amount of work on the security side. Ava Labs, of course, is going to be running the Mainnet. Goama's just done a bunch of work on games and enhancing that. RFox, with the ID side, and we recently launched the Orange credits template, which goes through Orange ID that RFox were instrumental in developing. VCL, Vibecoding list, is constantly updating tools. So it's really on the partner side. There's also new partners coming on board. We have mentioned in passing the upcoming community token launcher. That's with another partner, the community boards, things like that. So I think it's super important to remember that this is a community first project. So it's really about, you guys, the guys on this call and the creators are the real focus, not a big central team. Ultimately, we just aggregate the tools, and I think the real value will come from those partners coming on board and bringing their expertise, as we've already demonstrated with those partners that I mentioned.
Gotcha. Next one is, how does US regulation look at the moment for Orange Web3? Are we marketable to US users, exchanges, devs, given the current political economic climate post mainnet?
Look, we haven't made products or tokens or services for sale in the US to date. We're always obviously keeping an eye. Things are obviously it's a changing landscape over there. So, we keep an eye on it and we'll be looking to, take advantage of any opportunities, but we haven't made any product specific, tied to for sale in the US. Of course, US based creators are free to come and use the Orange tools just like anyone else. So we, be happy to onboard US based creators and get them into the ecosystem.
Gotcha. Up next, your project has attracted partnerships with global names like Chainlink, PIF, Arfox, Ava Clouds, Ava Labs, and Guama. How important have these relationships been?
I think it's incredibly important, especially because we're an aggregator of tools, right? So they are essentially a major part of what we do. I think firstly it provides credibility for the project. I mean, a lot of these big players in the space, they don't partner with just anyone. Things like the CCIP that we launched recently, and other partners like PIF and even Ava Labs, which you'll see more coming out as we go into mainnet. So it's great for credibility and them believing us and partnering with us. And then, as an aggregator of tools, as I mentioned, without those partners, we wouldn't have the instant world builder. We wouldn't have a gaming platform. We wouldn't have these millions of users that are about to onboard. So the partnerships are critical to the success of Orange.
Sweet. Okay. These are some of the latest ones I got as well. There are rumors of eight-figure deals taking place behind the scenes. While you probably can't disclose all the details, could you share some insights into what types of deals these are? For example, are they related to VC funding, strategic partnerships, major investors, or other forms of business agreements?
Yes. Sorry, I can't. Obviously, these are strongly NDA'd, so I really can't say more than that. But yeah, strategic partnerships, major investors, they're heavily NDA'd, but they're some very interesting conversations, and we'll share more when we're allowed.
Alrighties. There are rumors about 2 to 3 million users joining the launch of the Orange Mainnet, which is quite intriguing. Could you clarify who these users are and how they will be connected to the Orange network?
Yep. So, I mean, these aren't rumors. We've announced it. It's happening. There's a plan in place. So these are basically the users who drove the events that you see on the testnet, the 37 million events. Now that as we move to mainnet, we're able to onboard these users, and that's a key part in the expansion of the Go3 rewards. Probably the best one to understand this is check out the blog that we put out called Rewards Level Up, where we explain it. But basically, in summary, we're already live with partners who are streaming usage data to the Orange chain, right? With all of their user activity being logged at the moment on the testnet, and that will move to mainnet once we move to mainnet. So based on that usage data, then we're creating user accounts via like a Web3 account extraction. And then that's actually going to be, all the gas will be sponsored by Orange and the juice burnt, right? And then as those users engage further, they will accrue Go3. And just like a coalition engagement sort of rewards program, that Go3 then can travel across multiple apps. So what that means is that when creators come and plug into the ecosystem, that they're plugging into an existing incentivized user base. So you can think of it like a coalition rewards program. And that data is also the attraction to our partners is that data is all anonymized, so it's private, but it can be, of course, written to the chain and checked. As you can go and have a look at the data that's sitting on the testnet, and then we can use that to reward those users and then bring them through those rewards and that Go3 and the value that comes with that, bring them into the Orange ecosystem as users.
Gotcha. We are left with our final two questions that were given to us. With a broad scope of the creators ecosystem, Orange Web3, Vibecoding List, Basetown, and others, is there a plan to get users under one brand or umbrella? For me, it is quite confusing, even though I'm definitely not a new joiner. Where is the one starting point for a creator?
Yeah, this is an interesting one. So we are an aggregator, so it won't be pulled in. I mean, it obviously sits all within the Orange Web3 ecosystem banner, but those ones that you mentioned and even some of the other tools that I mentioned earlier, they're all third-party tools, and we want hundreds of creators to come in and build stuff on the Orange network, right? But having said that, we also appreciate that the problem of discovering and understanding where you should go. So you might have noticed on the website, there's a small little input dialog box on the homepage. It says Ask Orange. That's our little bit of a toe in the water. There's a lot of work going on behind the scenes. And what we're looking to do is to, again, use AI, and we're building some tools and basically training up that AI to create a widget, which would basically be, along the lines of, what do you want to create today? And then that's all trained up on all of these tools and all of the ways things work and all the user journeys and everything else. And then that, we believe that bot will create a good landing point or a kickoff point for people to be able to come in, say what they want to create or ask questions about the network or, what the network can do for them. And we're looking to sort of, build that around an AI chatbot, which you'll see go up on the website very soon.
Okie
Just to,
dokie.
help make that whole process a lot easier, because we do appreciate that it can be confusing, and it's going to get more confusing as more partners come. So we're looking to make that
Yeah.
as simple as possible using AI tools.
Awesome. All right, last one that we have. You have a lot of users coming on board and mainnet launching, but for a platform that will have millions of users, not many people have heard of you yet, and it hasn't yet equated to follower numbers. How will this change after mainnet?
So, I mean, Mainnet obviously allows us to onboard those users, like I mentioned. But it's also important to understand that Mainnet itself isn't like a magic formula, right? It's the next phase, definitely, and it does give us the potential to onboard these millions of users. But as any new network, getting users and creators is the hardest part, right? I think we've proved that we can do that. VibeJam was an excellent example of how we were able to bring in creators and users. And also, recently we've seen an increase in community and organic posting. And we'll continue to expand on the marketing and sort of driving awareness of the project. We have some big partner AMAs coming up that are centered around the mainnet launch. We're working with some calls on building like genuine engagement and connection with their followers. But what we're not looking to do is just like spam paid calls and shilling and this other stuff, because it's just not effective. It doesn't get cut through in the space. So, we're looking to work with those calls, work with our partners. We also know that some of the partners that are building tools on the Orange network are planning their own campaigns to drive further usage into the ecosystem. And I guess you guys can help as well. Tell your friends, post, retweet. We see guys like George in there and other members of the community, especially guys who are working in the intern group. Following the intern and amplifying the message and those types of things. So we believe we have amazing stuff. I'm personally super proud of where we are and what we've been able to deliver. And now it's just about getting that message out there. And I think real authentic messaging is what's going to drive the most sustainable uptake. So that's where we're focused on.
Alrighty. So yeah, I guess we're open for some questions if anyone has some. Peel, are you okay with that?
Yeah, sure.
Alrighty. So, guys, if you guys can't talk at the moment, feel free to type it out. Or if there's any, information that was shared just now that you guys want, to ask more questions about or anything, please feel free to do that. I'll give you a couple of minutes if you'd like. Or you can continue playing Orange games. That just was super addictive today. So yeah, that's just for me.
What's the high score on Merge Animals right now?
I don't want to check. I haven't had the time to. uh, KB has a question. What is a user single usage of a game counted as one user? Sorry, am I reading that right? A single usage of a game counted is a single usage of a game counted as one user, or what is defined as a user? Okay, yeah, there you go.
So it would be a unique user. So obviously yes, playing a game, logging into an Orange ID, engaging with the ecosystem. But not every game plays. So if they play 10 times, they're just one user. So it's a unique individual that's doing that. So you'll see the data on the testnet as a user ID, and that ties then that usage behavior back to that particular user, and then they would earn Go3 based on those individual actions.
Awesome. All right. Any other questions that we can address tonight? I see someone typing. I'm going to give them some time. Liquidity pools, staking. Okay,
Coming.
that yeah, I didn't have to read out the whole thing.
Coming. It's a part of the whole mainnet thing. I don't believe it'll be on the mainnet day, but definitely part of the plan. And yes, coming soon. Being worked on right now.
There you go. Okay, I still see someone typing, unless they're like pulling a fast one. While we're waiting, oh wait, hold on. There we go. What are these unique users not? Why are these unique users not aware of our Discord? It seems that if they have to participate in the testnet, they would have at least heard of the Discord.
I think we have seen. I mean, obviously, as we onboard them, we'll incentivize them to come across and get involved more in the community and those types of things. I think we have seen recent growth in the Discord. Definitely, there seems to be a bit more chatter, and that'll continue. So as we're onboarding, now, so you'll start to see that grow as they come across and get involved in the community.
Yeah, I also have to just kind of give my POV on that, because Discord is pretty vast, and I think a lot of people have different platforms from time to time. And until we really come down to also when we do have events, timing is also an issue and things like that. So we gotta figure out as the community what works best for everybody in terms of going to one spot and kind of gathering together. That being said, while anyone else wants to add on more questions, we do have a community event this Friday. We're just going to have a casual chit chat with the creators. Anyone who wants to know a little bit more on how to, market their apps on VCL, or just kind of like test stuff, that's usually where we will gather and do things. Another question: any new exchanges? Sorry, may have missed it at the start.
Nothing to announce at the moment. Nothing to announce on that side. We'll let you guys know as well. Come and play.
Please don't click on that. I'm going to ban this person. Alrighty. Thank you. All right. Any last minute ones? Honestly, we have like a minute or two. If we're good, I will send a recap of everything that we've just had today for the AMA, what has been addressed, and you guys will definitely have a copy for you guys to review based on the questions that were shared, asked, and answered. If you're good, I'll see some of
Just
you.
let me add on the exchange side. Support the DEX. Go and support LFJ, our partner, who are also helping on the creator tokens. So use the DEX.
There we go. Alrighty. I guess that's a wrap for tonight. Yep. Stay tuned for the recap. For anyone who's missed it, please just redirect them over there, and I'll see you guys on Friday. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
See you guys.